And we start tonight with that developing story, which is a shooting investigation in Chatham County.
We're giving you a live look now at the scene. And this is off of Quaco Road near the Berwick area.
Now, Chatham County Police Chief earlier had confirmed there was a shooting on Berwick Lakes Road at the intersection with Quaco Road. No injuries have been reported so far. There were hearing reports of 2 possible suspects. Right now, we do have 1 contained in a residence at the time, is what they're telling us. There were officers shouting through megaphones for the suspect to open that door. Lots of agencies on scene, including Chatham County Police, Pooler Police, as well as Fire and Chatham EMS. Now, several roads in that area, Tina, are shut down. We want to make sure people know about that, too.
Absolutely, Andrew. Pooler Police are directing cars to turn around at the Chevron, and they're asking the public to avoid the area until further notice. Of course, this is a developing situation. We will continue to bring you the very latest on air and online at WSAV.com.
Turning to other news now, a former Beaufort County educator facing some serious charges after investigators say she had inappropriate communication with a child. 47-year-old Kaylin Wolf is charged with criminal solicitation of a minor and procuring or promoting obscenity. Authorities say the alleged incident happened back in March. Now, Wolf previously taught at May River Montessori School in Bluffton. School officials say her contract ended last year. She also worked as a substitute teacher for Beaufort County School District from 2008 to 2016. Now, it's not clear whether the alleged victim was a current or former student.
New at 6, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has completed its investigation into a deadly officer-involved shooting on Savannah's Riverwalk earlier this year. That case file has now been turned over to Chatham County District Attorney Shalina Jones for review. The shooting happened January 22nd after Savannah police responded to reports of an armed man near West Congress Street and MLK Jr. Boulevard. Investigators say officers encountered 27-year-old Mark Dennis Wibby Jr. and ordered him to drop the gun. The GBI says Wibby kept walking toward the Riverwalk as officers tried to de-escalate the situation, including using a taser. Authorities say surveillance video showed Wibby placing a gun in his hand before he moved toward officers and civilians and reached for something in his waistband. 5 Savannah police officers fired their weapons, killing Wibby at the scene. We are waiting to hear back from the Chatham County DA's office about what happens next in this case. We'll certainly keep you updated as we learn more. And following up now, a judge has temporarily blocked the city of Savannah from enforcing its horse-drawn carriage heat ordinance. The decision comes after 3 carriage tour companies filed a lawsuit claiming the city's rules conflict with a new state law signed by Governor Brian Kemp. WSAV's Sarah Smith breaks down the legal battle.
The lawsuit was filed on May 18th and claims the city of Savannah has no right to enforce temperature restrictions for horses, citing a new state law. One lawyer I spoke with today says he's surprised the ordinance was ever written.
The way it was written, it was destined to fail.
The horse-drawn carriage ordinance was controversial from the very beginning, and now Act 379, newly signed into law by Governor Brian Kemp in April, conflicts with the ordinance. This, according to a lawsuit filed by 3 Savannah carriage tour companies. It bars governments from regulating livestock and livestock owners on a public road.
The city of Savannah couldn't enact a local ordinance that conflicts with that state statute. If it does, then the local ordinance is void and unenforceable.
Attorney Michael Schiavone says the plaintiffs are most likely in the right. This as the court ruled a temporary restraining order that keeps the city from enforcing temperature regulations until the next court hearing.
The business can go on as usual up until that hearing. And then after they have hearing and they present evidence to the court, more than likely, I think the court's going to rule in favor of the carriage companies.
Those business owners claim these restrictions could force them to shut down in the hotter months, while animal rights advocates argue the horses should be off the street during extremely high temperatures.
People take really a strong position when it comes to the treatment of animals, and understandably. It would make sense for the lawyer representing the carriage company as well as the city attorneys to see if they could reach some type of compromise and maybe agree to some type of statute, or rather some type of local ordinance that accommodates everyone.
Horse-drawn carriages will remain a City of Savannah staple for now, and this restraining order will remain in place until a hearing on June 5th. In Savannah, I'm Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side.
New tonight at 6, a new round of genetic testing shows many Savannah area restaurants still serving imported shrimp while they're claiming it's local wild caught. The findings come after more than a year after a similar investigation sparked some concerns about seafood mislabeling across the coastal Georgia area. That retesting was conducted by CD Consulting earlier this month, and they found only 9 of the 22 tested shrimp dishes being advertised as locally caught actually contained American wild-caught shrimp. The other 13 tested as imported or farm-raised shrimp. Now, according to the report, 12 of those 13 dishes were misrepresented through menu claims or verbal assurances that the shrimp were local or wild-caught. Industry leaders say the results show Georgia's new shrimp labeling law needs stronger enforcement. That law, which was passed this year through House Bill 117, actually requires restaurants to disclose when they're serving imported shrimp. That report also found some restaurants improved since the last round of testing. Others that previously served that American wild-caught shrimp were now found serving imported product instead. Well, restaurants identified as serving that American wild-caught shrimp included the Boar's Head Grill and Tavern, the Old Pink House, and Seawolf on Tybee Island. The report does not name which restaurants were found to not be in compliance.
Savannah State University is getting its biggest boost in more than a century, a multi-million-dollar state investment that leaders say will transform the campus. WSAV's Isley Herschel breaks down what's coming and what it means for students.
Some parts of Savannah State University are getting a $42 million facelift. That includes a new green space right here in the spot where Wilcox Gym currently sits.
Savannah State received $42.8 million for our capital project.
This is the largest sum of money SSU has received in the 135 years the school's been around.
Today has been a historic moment. This is the announcement of our largest capital project for construction in university's history.
The money will be used to build a new gymnasium. The old one will be replaced with a green space, amphitheater, and a marsh walk. There are plans to tear down the 2-story portion of the King Fraser building and renovate the space. President Jermaine Worrell says the university got a chance to speak to state lawmakers about the school's needs during an SSU State Day at the Capitol. He says that helped pave the way for the donation of these much-needed funds.
Had a big impact. Obviously, we were able to be heard, and that really got this project on the radar.
Senator Derek Mallow says he pushed for this investment because of the continued growth Savannah State University has seen.
One of the things we know, students attend colleges based on facilities and where those facilities lie, the state of those facilities. If they're going to pay a student activity fee, they want a facility that's up to par.
Worrell feels this will have a great impact on the entire Savannah State community.
They're going to be ecstatic, and it's going to improve their experience here on the campus and also help us recruit new students as well.
Leaders tell me that groundbreaking for these projects are going to begin in the next few months. In Savannah, Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Now, Time Saver Traffic, sponsored by Arrowhead Clinic, the accident doctors, where it pays to get well.
Well, tonight in our Time Saver Traffic Report, we have a lot of yellow and red showing up on the map, especially along Interstate 16, I-95, and Highway 21, all because of the heavy rain. Traffic very slow moving, heading out of the city, heading into the low country, and from the low country along 95, that traffic is flowing pretty smoothly as well. So definitely taking some extra time to commute out of the city. So be careful on the roadways, as those roadways will be very wet for the next several hours. Flooding rain setting up for portions of Chatham County. That cell starting to diminish. However, still the flooding concerns remain for a few more hours. A few more storms possible for the early evening, but overnight we will dry out, but more storms are possible along with hot conditions for our Thursday. That's all in the forecast. We'll talk about it coming up.